Hey, so I literally improvised an intro for this, but it stopped halfway. Like, my intro recording stopped halfway, so I don't have the rest of it, so I'm just gonna remake it. Also, I was gonna make this a video for the channel, but I thought that it would be better to upload it for the podcast, but since it was intended to be a video for the channel, it's very visual, especially if you don't know who or what I'm gonna talk about. But it's like kind of bad. So I thought if I made it for my podcast, it would be better, right? So yeah, it's gonna be like kind of more visual. Um, so just a heads up. Anyway, here I am showing my Spotify Wrapped for 2024. I've been wanting to do these types of videos since like 2020, but I never got into doing it, so I thought I'd do it once and for all now. By the way, this is my new laptop and it's really different from my old one, so I hardly know how to use it. So if it looks like I don't know how to use a freaking computer, just know that I'm trying. For example, I broke my Windows laptop earlier in the year, and I recently got a Chromebook as an early Christmas gift, especially since I'm going back to school for the spring soon. But I learned that OBS does not run on Chrome OS, so I needed to find another way to screen record. And I did find another way, but this footage is literal dog shit. So you gotta work with me. I'm figuring it out. But yeah, I'm showing my Wrapped for this year, and I was kind of scared because I wasn't sure if it was going to be accurate, because compared to last year in 2023, I listened to Spotify for 90,000 plus minutes. I literally would wake up, put on Spotify when I'm showering, eating, like any dead space that I didn't need to be paying attention to people. I was listening to Spotify. So that's how I accumulated almost 100,000 minutes. But I wasn't listening to Spotify like that for this year, so it was hard to pinpoint who I thought would appear on there. You know those like add yours thingies on Instagram? I found one for your predictions for the Wrapped, and it was hard to really pinpoint. But in hindsight, I was kind of accurate in some ways, but I was wrong in other ways. Um, and I can read it out so it could match with what I say, because again, my intro basically died and I added context about this, but in the footage, you might not know the context. So, for my top artists, for the top artist part, I put XG because I knew that their song Woke Up was super played in my whole year. And I also put System of a Down because I've been playing them a lot for the latter third of the year. So I thought maybe they would just like run up there. But again, I didn't know who it was. Like, it could have been someone completely different, and I just didn't know. Now, for my top 5 songs, I couldn't really tell. I mean, I listened to my on repeat playlist a lot. Like, I genuinely play that playlist. And so my overplayed songs will be the same ones for months. So I couldn't really pinpoint which top 5 I would put. So I just put like screenshots of parts of the playlist and squeezed it in there. And the songs are kind of like all over the place, honestly, so you can probably barely see it, because I'm going to put the picture on there. I have Toxicity by System of a Down, Dragula by Rob Zombie, Woke Up by XG, Make Me Famous, Kim Dracula. I have Please 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 by Sabrina Carpenter, and I really hope that she's not my top artist. Not that there's anything wrong with her, it's just that, like, come on. I have Buddy Holly by Weezer, The Death of Peace of Mind by Bad Omens, Paralyzer by Finger 11, I got Hot to Go by Chapel Roan. She's cool and all, but again, please don't. Please. I got Death Before Designer by Kim Dracula featuring Sauce Moolah. Is that even how you say his name? I don't even know. I don't care. Rockstar by Nickelback, I Won't Back Down by Tom Petty, Que Mas Quieres from The Warning, and Werewolf from Motionless in White. There's obviously more to the playlist, but I thought these were the songs that I kept replaying. And yeah, it says my on repeat hasn't changed in months. Now for my top 5 artists, I put XG again, System again, then I put Kim Dracula, Motionless in White, and The Warning. I felt like I've been listening to them a lot this year, so that's my prediction. And for my genres, I just put K-pop and the different subgenres of rock because those are my top genres. But I actually open to newer stuff for me and some music that's more nostalgic. I really opened up to like 80s music, and then I opened up to listening to more 2000s to 2010s pop, just stuff that I would listen to when I was a kid, or like as a teenager. So, but there would be like pop or like maybe even rap. I don't even know. And I thought I was going to be annoying about the Spotify Wrapped, like posting it everywhere and talking about it a lot and never shutting up about it, but I actually didn't. But that doesn't mean I didn't stop talking about it or thinking about it rather. So I'm making it into a video or like this podcast. So let's look at my rap. Y'all probably don't care, but I do. So you're gonna see it. Okay, well, let's give it a shot, shall we? We have the screen right here, all of the Wrapped, whatever, but I want to show like the little story thing. I'm not going to show the whole thing throughout, but I just want to put like I just want to walk through it. Oh my god, why is it all like, okay. Oh. Okay. I'm turning off the music because I don't want to get copyright strike, so it says my name, life moves fast, whatever. So, see, I listened to half of basically what happened, but that's weird because I'm still like top 7%, like okay, I don't know what was going on at March 7. I played 1,018 songs, which is kind of like, that feels like a little. I don't know if they had that like statistic last year, but like, I don't know, that seems like a little, but I kind of played all the same songs. And yep, I was right that Woke Up by XG was I listened to a lot of it. May 22, I don't know what was going on with May 22. That was probably when I listened to it first, so. Okay, here are the top songs. Woke Up by XG. Okay, let me pause it before it... Wait. Woke Up by XG. Fact Check by NCT127. NCT127 is my favorite K-pop group, but I haven't been following them for a while because I got employed, so I had to focus on, more important things. So this is like the last song I ever like listened from them, and it's a good one. So Werewolf by Motionless in White. This song just gives me the like Halloween vibes, and yeah, I was like getting, when it was way before like summer of 2024, I was getting into the Halloween mood because I wanted to cosplay as Chris Motionless in the werewolf video, and I ended up doing that for Halloween. It was like a gross Walmart version, but I did it. Make Me Famous by Kim Dracula. I love Kim Dracula. They're in my... And Make Me Famous is probably my favorite song of theirs. And Buddy Holly. And that's actually kind of embarrassing of how much I've listened to that song. But you know what? Hell yeah, brother. Okay. This is weird. I wanted to talk about this because I hadn't listened to podcasts in a long time in Spotify. Because I guess let it go. 18,000, that's crazy because I stopped listening to podcasts. Okay. Podcast. Okay, this statistic was kind of crazy because 2% of the world for comedy, is there like no comedy podcasts? Because I literally stopped listening to comedy podcasts like early in the year. which I'll tell you why. So was like nobody just listening to podcasts, and I listened to, like, I don't know, like I literally abandoned the podcasts app, and I started listening to it again, like barely in November, December, because I got into like, okay, let me just, because there's a reason. It'll show my top podcasts right now. All right, this is not a bad selection. Like, Sleep Deprived was my favorite podcast. That was actually a podcast I would listen to when I would sleep. But they stopped doing podcasts after, because it's four guys, right? And they have a YouTube channel, but it's four guys, and then one of them left when they did their 100th episode. And then when they got to 150, they decided to put the podcast in a paywall. Like, they said now you have to like go to Patreon to listen to the podcast, and I was like, fuck that. Even if it's for like $5, I mean, like, it was free and it was fine. So I stopped listening to the podcast. And Distractable, that's Markiplier's podcast, and it was pretty good. I just stopped listening to it. Chuckle Sandwich is a good podcast. I stopped listening to it kind of, but it has that same guy that's in the Sleep Deprived podcast, but he was in there, and they just ended the podcast too. But I stopped. If there's a podcast that has like a YouTube version, hot take, I like watching the YouTube version. So whenever I did listen to Chuckle Sandwich, I would put it on YouTube rather than Spotify. The Yard, I have them in my library because I used to really like Ludwig, but I wasn't really into their podcast that much. But whenever I would let one of these like rolling, it would just automatically play The Yard, and I don't even listen. I've never intentionally put a The Yard podcast episode, so that's just weird. And then I really got into Sad Boys, and I barely got into like listening to them on Spotify. So that little bit, oh my god, that little bit of what I was listening to on Spotify, because again, I was just watching it on YouTube because they have a YouTube version. I like seeing the dudes do their thing, alright? So that sounded really weird, but yeah. But it's weird because I stopped ever since this podcast, Sleep Deprived, stopped being free. I stopped listening to podcasts altogether on Spotify. So, and whenever that day was, episode 150, that's when I stopped listening to podcasts altogether. I guess a little bit of this, but like I didn't listen to that much. Again, like when it comes to podcasts, I just listen to on YouTube because I like watching them, and I put them as background music or whatever. So the podcast thing, I was really into podcasts last year. Sleep Deprived was my number one still, and I watched a lot of their, like, I listened to their podcast a lot at the time. So the podcast just doesn't do it for me. I guess my podcast era is kind of ending. I've changed, I believe it, December to March, I guess. March. These categories were kind of weird. My vampire noise K-pop phase, whatever that means. NCT 127, G-Idol, and aespa. That kind of pertains more to NCT 127 because they actually have a song called Vampire, Favorite Vampire, and like that's it. Nothing about G-Idol and aespa gives Vampire, but and then they give me Hallyu Fantasy K-Rock season. I don't remember really listening to K-Rock a lot. Lucy and Day 6, that's K-Rock. And Hallyu basically, but New Kid, did they turn to K-Rock? I haven't heard New Kid in a hot minute. Like, in a hot minute. I thought they kind of disbanded by now, if I'm being honest. But did they turn to, like, K-Rock or something? I don't know. But, basically, Hallyu means, like, the Korean wave, I guess. I think that's what it is. So just Korean music. Um, but I don't think I listened to Lucy or Day 6 in this whole year. This one was kind of interesting. Um, Mall Goth Wrestling Rock with songs like, with artists like Linkin Park, Bring Me the Horizon, and Shinedown, which is pretty cool, but I don't think, well, they've, these artists have done songs for wrestling, but you'd think that like wrestling rock would be like their theme songs, and I haven't listened to, the only theme song I probably listened to like a lot was Jay Uso's and Joe Hendry. So, and I wouldn't consider myself mall goth. I think if I was ever goth, I would be romantic or probably mall goth, but like I don't know if Linkin Park, Bring Me the Horizon, and Shinedown is considered mall goth. Mall goth. I like goth aesthetic, and I like the principles and follow it, but I wouldn't consider myself goth because I don't really listen to like legit goth music. Man, I can't speak. It's been a hot minute since I talked a lot for a video. 752 artists. That's interesting. One artist, and this actually surprised me. That 5 Seconds of Summer was my top artist of the year because I thought I didn't listen to them a lot, and for my like predictions, I did not think about 5 Sauce at all, so it really surprised me. And 5 Seconds of Summer is my all-time favorite like band. I haven't kept up with their like solo stuff and like their recent like the Calm album that really much, not that much, but like every now and then I do listen to their music. But I guess in the beginning of the year I listened to their stuff like a lot, because in the end of this year, like the second half of this year, I don't think I really listened to them that much, but I guess I did because I'm 0.5 of the entire world, I guess. So, but it does makes me happy. Man, I really can't talk. It does make me happy that my favorite band has is my number one spot. And looking back at the other like playlists of, or like back in my old like Spotify Wrapped stories when I would like screenshot and share them and be annoying on Instagram, 5 Seconds of Summer has been on there for the past 3 years. I don't know about 4, but 3. So it's actually interesting. We got 5 Seconds of Summer, Kim Dracula, Motionless in White, NCT 127, and XG. According to the like prediction, I got Kim Dracula right and Motionless in White right. 5 Seconds of Summer was a surprise. NCT is my favorite K-pop group, like I said, and XG was literally just because of that one song. I like their other songs, but I haven't actually kept up. Like these two, I haven't really kept up with anybody, but when I lock in with one song, I guess I'm really freaking locked in. But yeah. And Kim Dracula has been on my last year's, and XG and NCT 127, so we kind of kept up really solid here, constant. Oh yeah, and it's the like
ever made for my debut album, and it really set the tone. You know, I want to start the process of holding up a mirror against society and saying, look what y'all don't want to look at. That's it, man. It's the first song that sonically defines where we're going.
Oop. Yep, you know what? You're so right, Kim Dracula. Yeah, he makes a lot of like actually like alternative music that criticizes the, you know, the way of the world. So I'm really glad he's going places. And yeah, we got like the different it's hard to. Oop. It's just the different, like, I used this one to share, I think. So, yeah. It looks like it says 15 Seconds of Summer. 5 Seconds of Summer, Kim Dracula, Motionless in White, NCT 127, XG. That's my top 5 artists. Then we got Woke Up, Fact Check, Werewolf, Make Me Famous, Buddy Holly. So Woke Up is from XG, Fact Check is from NCT 127, The Werewolf is from Mostly Lisa White, Make Me Famous is from Kim Dracula, and then Buddy Holly and 5 Seconds of Summer are different. So like, it's really good that it lined up that like the 3 artists that are on my top artists is also on my most listened to songs. So that's it for the like story thing. So we can look at the top songs of my whole like this is the 100 most streamed songs of the year, right? Okay. Your first ever wrapped AI podcast but with Google. What does that even mean? Speaking of AI, I heard a lot of like complaints about the Spotify rap that like it felt like it was made with AI, but I thought like isn't that how it is anyways? Like that's how they get their data. But people were like getting weird like freaking Sabrina Carpenter's there, I saw it. We're getting weird like what I said like Molgoth wrestling bullshit. People were getting like weird combinations as well. And people were not happy, but mine is pretty solid. I started diving into more things. Like I wouldn't have listened to Wrecking Ball or I guess I have been listening to XG, but like my top things are how do I get rid of this? Because it's blocking Props and Mayhem by Pierce the Veil. That's number 100. So we got elyzza, which is K-pop, Beverly Hills by Weezer, Wrecking Ball, Touch My Body by Sistar, that's K-pop, Sorry by Buck Cherry, that's rock, Kryptonite, that's rock, Anti Everything, that's rock, New Dance, that's by XG, Deja Vu, that's K-pop, Wait a Minute My Girl by Volbeat, Come On Feel the Noise, and that's insane that they spelled come like that. That didn't age well because of this brain rot. We got Pachuco, that's OG like that's like OG Mexican rock or like Latino rock. Got Chalk Outline rock, 5 Seconds of Summer. Are they their own brand? Because I was gonna call them rock, but I don't want to start a fit with the people that are like 5 Seconds of Summer aren't rock. So Blink 182, Blackpink, that's K-pop, Kiss rock, Skillet rock, Maestro by 17, that's K-pop, Want You Back by 5 Sauce. We got K-pop, Korn, 5 Sauce, One Direction. I was obsessed with this song. Also R.I.P. Liam. That was very unfortunate what happened. I got The Weeknd, Blinding Lights, which is insane. More XG, Motionless in White. We got more K-pop with NCTU, System of a Down, Hailstorm, Linkin Park, New Jeans, Fall Out Boy, Rebel Yell by Billy Idol. We got Michael Jackson up here, and then we got NCT 127, Cherry Bomb, Treasured, Jikjin, that's K-pop, Linkin Park, Kim Dracula, Shinedown, Slipknot, Skillet, Kitty, Hoobastank, Alex Unknown, which is the guy from the Sleep Deprived podcast. Like, he makes music. Avril, XG. I guess I did listen to a lot of XG. Their music is great. I thought I listened to them a lot more last year rather than this year, because this song, like this album came out last year-ish. So we got Lisa again with Rockstar. We got Sabrina Carpenter with Please Please Please. Nickelback, Bon Jovi, Good Charlotte. Okay, that's rock. Super by 17. This was more early because I kind of got tired of this song. Same thing with Batter Up by Baby Monster. That was from like early because I listened to the song finally after everybody was like hating it in the K-pop community. And that like breakdown version at the end was really what got me. Although they're not that bad. NCTU, Baggy Jeans. We got Take What You Want by One OK Rock, which is a Japanese rock group featuring 5 Sauce. The Offspring, Bring Me the Horizon, Avril, More System, Shinedown, More Motionless in White, Scream by Dreamcatcher, which is K-pop, More System, Hailstorm, Kim Dracula, aespa. I did listen to a lot of aespa. I Prevail. I was surprised that Violence Against Nature or Van by Bad Omens and Poppy was not part of the top music, because I was obsessed with this song and was playing it on repeat. I wish they showed the numbers here. Maybe if I go to the web player. They're showing the songs. It was number 30, so it was pretty high. Another Life by Motionless in White, One More Time. When Blink-182 came out with One More Time, it really shook the world. Because I wasn't really much of a Blink-182 fan, but like that song really it changed my life. 5 Seconds of Summer, More G Idol. We got Seether. I was obsessed with their Careless Whisper song for some reason. We got Kiss, more Kiss. Bad Omens. We got Chappell Roan. I know I said I really like Chappell Roan. I haven't gone into more of her music, but I'm trying to get into her. But I didn't want it to flood like my rock and K-pop thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but like I feel like a lot of alternative people look down on people when they listen to like mainstream pop and stuff. We got The Warning. I was obsessed with their song Que Mas Quieres. A Conversation with Death by Chemist, which is the song that plays in, oh my gosh, the dogs are barking again. It's the intro song to all the like Supermassive, not the Supermassive games, but the Death, what's it called? Dark Pictures Anthology games, the ones that are like Until Dawn. That's from Supermassive Games, but like Little Hope, Man of Medan, House of Ashes, like those story games, they're anthology games, dark anthology games, if you will. And that's the theme song when like the story, the curator kind of like walks in the door, and I was obsessed with it, so I listened to it. Superhero, Kim Dracula, Ozzy, More Motionless in White, Supernova by aespa. I was obsessed with this song. 70 Thorns. This song was much higher last year, because this is a 2023 album, but by Kim Dracula. But back then, like I would sleep with my like earbuds. They're like little pill earbuds that you put on your ears, so they would fall once I would get up. So, and they would fall behind my bed, so it would be hard to like move the entire bed or whatever, because I can't see. So I would have to move the entire bed, but like I would use this song to locate the earbud, because it would still be on, right? The battery hasn't finished, but it would still be on. And the intro is like so loud. If you want to hear it, let's hear it. I guess we can't hear it, but he like screams in the beginning, and it's like heavy drums and guitar. Mr. Brightside by The Killers, Paralyzer by Finger 11. I don't know. I rediscovered this song because I grew up with this song, which is kind of insane. But so I've been obsessed ever since. Blender by Five Sauce. Where are we at? Okay. Death Before Designer. Kim Dracula by Rob Zombie. I don't know why I was so obsessed with this song this year. Girl Gang by XG. Bite Me by Enhypen. That's actually insane. Well, it's a pretty good song, but I don't follow Enhypen. More Motionless. Their version of Somebody Told Me by the Killers. Hot take, I like Motionless in White's version better, but the other's good. We're Not Gonna Take It. Was so obsessed with it this year. Buddy Holly. Okay, we're in the top 5. So we got Buddy Holly, Make Me Famous, Werewolf, Fact Check, and Woke Up. So yeah, that's my Spotify Wrapped 2024. So I've been wanting to make these videos every year since like 2020, I guess, but I never got into using it, like doing it. So hopefully this was cool. I love seeing other people's Wrapped and then looking at the artist and not knowing the artist. I love looking at the songs and not knowing about the songs. And yeah, I love seeing Spotify Wraps, and I love sharing it. I know there's a lot of people that are like, I don't care if you freaking share your Spotify Wraps. And just to that I say, you're just boring. And maybe you have terrible taste. That's why. And if you don't like it, just scroll. Like, it's really not that hard. So I don't know why people get so annoyed. It's like, that's like my Super Bowl, if I'm being honest. Like, music, it really means a lot to me. And yeah, of course, I'm gonna share it. It's like the only part of like my personality that kind of like describes me well. And if not for my music taste, who am I? Like, honestly, who am I? My music taste is like what's left of like my personality. So yeah, if anybody sees this, because I haven't made a video in ages, so nobody may be viewing, but if you see this, share me your Spotify results. Like, who are your top 5 artists, and what is your top 5 songs, and did you listen to podcasts this year? Did you like your results, or did you think it was like weird, or do you think it was inaccurate? Because I hear a lot of people like not liking the results of their Spotify Wrapped. So let me know, and maybe I'll do one next year. So this year we lock in. So yeah, see ya.